A hot summer afternoon in Tulare, California. Single mother Erica Munoz and her son are relaxing at home after a long day out.
I had just gotten back from the water park. I had gotten in the shower, was getting dressed in my room, and then I heard the doorbell ring. I looked at it on my phone, the Ring doorbell, and it was a strange man that I had never seen before.
Erica lives alone with her son, and their house is located on a quiet cul-de-sac, which rarely gets solicitors.
Can I help you?
Sí, soy Martín.
No hablo español.
Okay. Bye.
The stranger appears to leave, but Erica continues monitoring her camera.
As I was putting on my makeup, I looked down at the phone again, and he was standing at the end of the walkway. So then he turned back around again and came to the door again.
Did you need something?
Mamá, la esposa de José.
No Jose lives here.
And I was like, I don't know Jose, there's not a Jose who lives here. Sorry. So he was like, okay. So then he walks away again, stands at the end of the walkway.
What do you need? I can see you knocking on the window.
I'm like, hello, I can see you, because he started looking in the window, looking kind of like he wanted to like do something. It didn't look normal, so I started getting nervous. The only people that were home at that moment was me and my son.
Erica is in the back of her house, watching all this unfold on her phone, when the unthinkable happens. The man just walks into Erica's house, while her son sleeps only feet away on the couch.
It was just like a panic moment. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know if this guy had a gun, a knife, anything. So in my head, I'm just thinking he's gonna attack my kid.
Erica runs from the back of the house to the living room.
What are you doing in my house? There's no Jose. Don't ever walk in my house. I don't know who you are.
And he got surprised, like if he didn't know there were people in the house, and he just turned around and ran.
No Jose lives here.
I was like, who was this man? I've never seen him before. The cops, when they did come, they did patrol the area for a little bit, looking for the description that I had given them.
The next day, while showing her work friends the clip, Erica makes a horrifying discovery.
I was showing my coworkers. When I went to pull up the video, that's when I saw another missed ring.
Erica has missed a door cam alert from the previous night. While she was out with friends, the stranger had returned. But no one was home, and he left.
What were his real intentions? Because I felt like if you got chased out of the house initially during the day, why would you come back in the middle of the night? Was he actually intending on hurting me, or was it just, items in the house that he wanted?
Tulare police arrest 35-year-old Martin Tavar a few days later, when Erica learns he isn't a stranger at all.
He actually lived on the next neighborhood over. At the time with his roommate, I guess, who was the Jose he came looking for. There was a trial, and he admitted he was gonna rob me. He had been staking the house and seeing stuff that he wanted. And then they did end up sentencing him, convicted of first-degree burglary with person present.
Despite the harrowing experience, Erica can look back with gratitude.
I consider myself very lucky. Because of the doorbell camera, I was able to see him walking in. Had I not had that on my phone or in my house, I wouldn't even have known he was in my house. It could have went a lot different, and I felt myself very lucky to still be alive.
Don't ever walk in my house.
She may feel lucky, but Erica won't forget to lock her door ever again. Now to Denver, Colorado, and a neighborly good deed that doesn't turn out how it's supposed to. It all starts in this alley in the city's arts district. A battered SUV pulls up, and the driver loads a length of scrap metal into her truck. But look closely. Something in that garage has caught her eye. She takes off, but a little later, she's back, this time on foot. And guess where she's headed? Straight for this mountain bike. Now this could be the end of the story, but it's not. In fact, it's only the beginning for neighbor Josh Berman, whose office backs onto this alleyway.
I was on my way back to the office after lunch, and as I'm pulling into my office parking lot, I see a woman carrying 2 large mountain bike wheels out of the parking lot. It raised some red flags. It didn't look like they belonged to her, and I couldn't imagine why she would be walking out of our parking lot with these wheels. So I stopped her and I asked her if I could help her, and she looked at me, kind of got angry and said, "No, I'm just trying to get out of the parking lot." And she kind of rushes by me and starts walking down the sidewalk.
Josh doesn't know it yet, but he has just met the bike thief. And her getaway is not going to plan. The bike has 2 flats, so she's now having to haul it to her SUV piece by piece. And boy, is she pissed.
As I'm getting my phone out to start shooting her, she turns around and swings a bike wheel and actually hits me in the chest. And she's yelling and screaming. I mean, at that point, I'd kind of had enough and turned around and decided to get on with my day. And as I was walking back on the sidewalk towards my office, I actually saw a mountain bike upside down in the right-of-way in front of the office. I went up to it and could tell very quickly that it was a very expensive mountain bike, and probably the exact same mountain bike that she had just removed these wheels off of.
Josh suspects the bike is stolen, probably from a neighbor.
So I've been involved in biking my entire life. The bike was a late model Santa Cruz carbon fiber frame mountain bike, which, I mean, those are not cheap bikes. They can run anywhere from $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 and up. It's definitely the kind of bike that, nobody would probably be riding, on the streets of Denver. So I picked it up and I started walking back to my office. And as I'm rounding the corner from the sidewalk into the parking lot, catch out of the corner of my eye something coming at me, pulling into the parking lot at a super high rate of speed. I jump out of the way at the last second just as she actually is hitting me and kind of smashes me up against a car in the parking lot. And I mean, I immediately kind of in shock. I'm trying to figure out, am I injured? The bike is lying on the ground, and she gets out of the car and starts screaming and yelling.
This is not your bike! What are you doing? Go! You're a thief, dude! What is wrong with you?
Calling me a thief, saying I've stolen her bike, and just kind of out of her mind with a super crazed look in her eye. And at that point, I realized that she was willing to run me over, kill me to get this bike. So I leave the bike and I ran into my office and started shouting to my coworkers to call 911.
Josh then quickly returns to the parking lot, determined to capture the thief on his cell phone camera.
We walked back just to see her pulling out of the parking lot, and at that point I got my phone out again. And, I mean, you literally see scrap metal falling out of the back of this dilapidated Bronco with no plates, and she's still screaming and yelling while she's driving down the street. I mean, at that point, I kind of just considered myself lucky that I wasn't more seriously injured, and went into the office where we started looking at the security cams and saw that it was indeed our neighbor's bike that had been stolen from the alley. We went over to the neighbor's house and knocked on the door just as he was coming home, and I got to break the bad news to him that unfortunately his bike had been stolen, and showed him the footage.
Josh and his neighbor Sean, who owns the bike, have both filed complaints with the Denver police, but so far, no arrests have been made.
Law enforcement, I feel like nationwide, is not prioritizing bike theft. And obviously there are a lot of bigger and more important issues that we're all dealing with. But at the same time, people have taken it for granted that Denver is a relatively safe city, and they let their guard down. And I mean, it's a problem.
Denver police suggest locking bikes, even in a locked garage, and taking a selfie next to the serial number to help officers reunite a stolen cycle with its owner.
I live on a pretty big property out in the middle of nowhere in the mountains of New Mexico, and apparently one of my neighbors has been chucking their empty cups onto my property. There's a whole bunch of them. And so what I did was I got myself a motion-activated trail cam. Let's go ahead and put it on this tree. I'm going to aim it so that it's sort of pointed at the road and pointed at the cups. And so that way, whenever one of my neighbors drives by, we'll see which neighbor is actually the one throwing the cups.
The spy cam is a great idea, but sometimes the evidence just falls in your lap.
Holy it's my neighbor Dale.
Talk about being in the right place at the right time. time to confront that naughty neighbor, Dale.
Dale, is this yours?
No. What?
Have you been throwing these in my yard?
No.
Yes, you have.
No, I haven't.
You've been throwing these in my yard. Why?
I wouldn't throw those in yours. Nothing to do with it.
I just saw you throw this cup into my yard.
You... No. Get out of here.
Dale, I have you on video throwing this cup in my yard around a whole bunch of other
I just got home, all right?
I just saw you throw this cup into my yard, and I want you to go pick up the other ones that you've been throwing in there too.
You want me to what?
Go pick up the other ones.
Look, if you've got trash in your yard...
You're getting too close.
Who's getting close? You're on my property, my house. Just...
Did you throw this cup
No.
on my yard?
No.
You did, and I
No.
can show you the video.
Oh, I don't think so.
If you go clean up the cups, I will forget about the whole thing. I have it on video. I
don't
know it was
what
you.
you're talking about. I don't want to hear any more about it. You take your trash and you go.
That is literally your trash.
It's not my trash.
It doesn't seem like Dale is getting the message.
It's your trash, Dale. And I expect you to clean up the rest of it.
Trash out.
I'm going to give you 1 day, or I'm going to pick it up myself and dump it on your property.
I don't even know what to say to you. Better be gone when I get out of there.
I'm going to trust you're going to pick it all up, Dale. Dale, just pick it up.
Get it out of here.
Just pick it up, Dale. 1 day. It's my neighbor, Dale.
While gender reveals can be lots of fun for family and friends, the neighbors likely couldn't care less if it's a boy or a girl. As long as it's not a mess. And the more elaborate gender reveals become, the more taxing they become on the neighborhood. And even if the neighbors are invited, they still end up getting the short end of the stick. In Philadelphia, this expectant couple is in the backyard surrounded by friends and neighbors. They light their gender-themed fireworks together, and everyone celebrates as pink clouds explode overhead. But in the excitement, no one notices what's happening. The fireworks are unwisely propped up on a drying rack, and when the first rocket launches, it jostles the whole box of fireworks loose. A few more rockets shoot up before the fireworks fall off the rack, and no one notices until it's too late. Rockets shoot into the crowd as family and neighbors scramble to find safety. But aside from a few minor burns, no one is seriously injured in the mayhem. So while some may love gender reveals, the neighbors might not be as tickled pink. It's the middle of the night in Bay City, Michigan, where the neighbors have called police on a drunk woman causing a ruckus in her neighborhood, and for doing much worse.
Hi. What's going on?
I threw some little kittens out in there.
Why?
Yeah, I just want to be by
Threw the
myself.
kittens?
I ain't throwing my jelly son around that little box out there.
Why would you do that?
Because I live here.
Oh, you don't want them?
The woman does appear to be intoxicated and is admitting to what the neighbors said when they called 911, that she was throwing kittens out of her window.
I don't know. Someone called us and said that you were throwing
they
kittens.
did.
No, ma'am. Hey,
Talk to us,
talk to us. I don't know.
Ma'am, what's going on? What's the problem? What's the problem? I'm drunk at home?
No.
The suspect provides few answers, so the officer finds some neighbors to get a clearer picture.
Who can give me some information? Because I'm not getting a whole lot.
While the other officer tries to calm the inebriated suspect.
You bitch.
Hey,
Just calm down, all right?
Okay, this is what happened. She got mad. I don't know what the whole story, but
Yeah.
she got mad, okay? She started whipping the kittens, okay?
Whipping them, throwing them?
Yeah, just-
you know how you throw
Yeah.
baseball,
like
Okay.
just come over here, Lacey.
No, I'm sick of this. I didn't do
She grabbed the mom and just walked across the street.
No, we're fine right here.
Hide. I'm a stripper.
Okay.
You want to see my double D's? Because I'm at home. I ain't did.
My friend and his boys, he told his boys to go get a box and put them in there.
Okay.
The officer makes her way to some kids across the street who have gathered the kittens and put them in a box for safety.
Hi, kiddos. What's going on? Nothing? Making friends with the cats?
Tyler.
They need their mom.
Yeah, their mom ran off in the bushes.
Oh, these little guys are too young. They need their mommy.
With statements from multiple neighbors, the officers place the woman under arrest.
Lacey, stand up.
What, you're arrested?
Yeah, put your hands behind your back. Right now, you're under arrest for animal cruelty.
I didn't even do anything.
Leaving them with one last incredibly important job.
Hi, Mama.
Reuniting Mama Cat with her kittens. 34-year-old Lacey Williams pleads guilty to abandonment or cruelty to animals and drunk or disorderly conduct in public. She is sentenced to 15 months probation and ordered not to own animals in the future. But this story does have a happy ending. The mother cat and her kittens are taken by city animal control and all quickly adopted into loving homes where they don't have to fear being thrown out of a window. Many people try to relocate to a quiet suburb, but some get more than they bargained for. In 2009, Brad Cresson, his wife, and 3 children moved to Albuquerque, New Mexico to start their new lives.
We actually picked a neighborhood that was far out from the city. It was a safe neighborhood away from any of the kind of crimes and activities that would go along with the city areas. The security camera really did give us a comfort of mind, a peace of mind. So we just watched animals cross the yard in the middle of the night and things like that we caught on camera, and watched our kids come and go.
One night, Brad is getting ready to put out the trash when he spots something on the security camera monitor.
I just happened to glance up, and there was a large white object in one of the 8 cameras. It's like, wow, that is not right.
Suddenly, the object moves. It's a man. His face is hidden by a hoodie, and he's staring through a window. Brad's teenage daughter's window.
I grabbed my flashlight and I walked out there and I asked him, what are you doing? What's going on? And fast as he walked past me, he started turning into a run. And I kind of chased him down the edge of the driveway.
The man gets away, and Brad immediately alerts his family, dials 911, and reviews the camera footage.
I got my family to watch the video, and we were all shocked. Everyone was shocked.
What they see is every parent's nightmare. The man had been at the girl's window before, first for 6 minutes, and later for 4 minutes.
He was kneeling down to look through the blind. It's beyond anybody's imagination of what we thought could ever happen.
Brad's 16-year-old daughter and her 14-year-old sister are terrified.
My 2 daughters, they didn't want to sleep in their rooms. They felt vulnerable and violated. Emotionally, we were all distraught.
Brad turns to neighbors to identify the man. They can. He's a neighbor.
We found out that he just lived like 5 houses up the street. It's just really baffling how we had never seen this person.
Not only is 33-year-old Ventura Salas a neighbor with a family of his own, but he's also former law enforcement and had been fired a few years earlier from his job as a county sheriff's corporal.
That kind of shook up the neighborhood. People were pretty riled up. They were pretty angry.
Ventura Salas is charged with a window peeping misdemeanor. He and his family quickly move out of the neighborhood. The peeping Tom escapes a felony charge because his victim wasn't unclothed while he watched her. Brad Cresson is in court to see Ventura Salas jailed for the maximum sentence of 90 days.
Get a pretty good look at him, and that was kind of nerve-wracking, kind of chilling, make the hair stand up on your neck. He didn't say that he was sorry for what he had put us through. Dad to dad, man to man, you need to stop doing this. You need to solve this issue in your life. And if going to jail for 90 days helps, well then, I hope that helps,
Although the incident sends shockwaves throughout the neighborhood, Brad said something positive does come out of it.
I think that this kind of thing, it just deepened the relationships that we had with the neighbors. The friendliness of the neighborhood in our local area, it made it nicer for us.
They say lightning doesn't strike twice, but it seems bad neighbors do. And Hector Martinet has already tussled with a bad neighbor or two.
Trying to rob me. Come on.
Oh, hell no.
This video catches a previous attempt at someone trying to burglarize Hector's house.
If I ever see you again, dude, oh man, you better run.
But now they're targeting his neighborhood.
You just hold on.
It's days before Christmas. Hector sees a young man taking a package off his neighbor's porch.
It's your cousins, huh? Oh yeah, you're just dropping it off, or what are you doing with it?
There's a book in it.
Yeah, let's take it over here to the owner. Come on. I know everybody in the neighborhood. I've lived there a very long time. I love my neighbors. Put the pack up there now. Put it back on the house.
The package belongs to one of his oldest neighbors, a recent widow.
That lady had just lost her husband, and it was nearing Christmas, and the son had sent that package as a book.
Hector calls the police.
I got a guy stealing packs off people's front porches. I need a unit here on 5921.
Oh, no, please don't call us.
The suspect begs Hector to let him go, but he must be new to the neighborhood.
Get the cops here right now. I definitely wasn't gonna let this go. He was not gonna victimize my neighborhood or my block. And you stand right there until I get here.
Hector worries the suspect might try and run before police arrive, and Hector is not dressed for a chase.
I'm standing here barefoot in the snow with no shirt.
To Hector's relief, another neighbor, Bob, arrives and offers Hector some help.
Hey, Bob, get on your phone too, would you?
But the suspect is getting antsy.
Stay right there, man. Sit down. I'm gonna get my dogs on you, man. Sit down or I'm gonna let the dogs out.
And once he steps off the porch, Hector resorts to plan B.
Here, Bob, hold this.
He hands the phone to his neighbor and prepares to keep him there by whatever means necessary.
You ain't big enough. Now sit your ass down on that porch or I'm gonna lay you out on the snow. Yeah.
So Hector decides to convince him.
I got the cops on the way, buddy. Never me, man. I told him, you either wait for the cops or you're gonna have to deal with me. Because I'm not gonna be as nice as the cops. You ain't big enough, believe me. You hear me? You come to the wrong neighborhood.
Hector scolds the suspected porch pirate until police arrive.
What are you thinking anyway? No, I mean, what you, Grinch? Come up in here, ruin people's Christmas shit? Man, you piss me off, dude.
The cops let the man go with just a warning, and the neighborhood's holidays are saved. Hector's heroics don't go unnoticed.
All of a sudden, now I'm getting cookies from the neighbor thanking me. I didn't really think I did anything, you know?
And to all the would-be crooks roaming around, Hector has a warning of his own.
You in the wrong neighborhood, buddy. Sit the down.
In this quiet California neighborhood, a woman is walking right across people's front lawns until she spots something in a mailbox. But this door has eyes. And while opening the homeowner's mail, she's caught red-handed.
Hey! My door! Give it back. I didn't hit nothing. I didn't hit nothing. But everything's in my house. Do you hear me? I hear you. This one.
This crook is getting off easy. Mail theft is a federal crime, punishable by up to 5 years in jail. So hopefully this friendly neighborhood warning is enough to stop her from ever trying it again. We're in Chicago, Illinois, following a big dump of snow. A home security camera records a dog on the sidewalk. It runs into a front yard, then moments later, its owner appears. She spots something of interest at the front door. It's her neighbor's snow shovel. And without asking, she decides to take it. Moments later, another camera shows the woman using the shovel to clear snow around her car. When she's done, she goes back home, taking her neighbor's shovel with her. Meanwhile, the neighbor's been watching the whole thing. he decides to teach her a lesson in neighborhood manners. First, he fires up his snowblower and proceeds to completely rebury the woman's car. Then he takes back his shovel. Later, the woman discovers the payback and has to dig out her car, armed with only a broom. The shovel owner says he would have gladly lent his neighbor the shovel, if only she'd taken the time to ask. But break the good neighbor code in Chicago, and revenge is a deep dish served very cold. Every year, over 370,000 bicycles are stolen from neighborhoods all across the United States. That's one every 90 seconds. But crime rates are so low in Littleton, Colorado, the owner of this surveillance camera leaves his daughter's $300 mountain bike on the porch, unlocked.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I'll never do this ever
I will call
again.
the police.
I know. I'm sorry. Please don't. And I'm on your ring anyway, so they'll know who I am.
Even though the intruder is caught red-handed, the neighbor takes no further action because at least she's apologizing.
I'm very, very sorry.
Again.
I apologize. I just have no gas money.
And again.
So sorry. I've never even done this before.
That bike thief may be leaving empty-handed, but in British Columbia, Canada, this man is cycling down the street, carrying a BMX bike. It seems like an innocent scene, except he's just stolen it from a stranger's yard, and his pedal-powered pursuer is the owner. This owner is lucky. Police only solve around 1 in 10 bike thefts, but he's in no mood to celebrate. It's a good day for neighbors standing up for their bikes, and a bad day for the bike thieves.
Yeah.
That knocking is the landlord. Since moving in, Christian claims his landlord is coming over constantly, always unannounced, rapping on the door at all hours. And often running away before he answers. Sometimes she tries striking up a conversation.
You want to talk? No, I don't. I already asked you to leave me alone. This is harassment at this point. I'm recording this.
The landlord, a woman in her 50s, and Christian have had a recent falling out over money. Christian did some handiwork for his landlord and claims she underpaid him. Everything comes to a head one night when the landlord tries entering the house through the cellar and is surprised to learn the door from the cellar into the kitchen won't open because Christian has locked her out.
Unlock my door.
Can we help you? Why the are you in our house?
What are you talking about? This is my...
Why the are you in our house?
Christian, why are you talking to me like that?
I was thinking in my brain, like, if I catch her in my house, I gotta use this in court to get my rent money back because she's violating something.
Many states do have laws against landlords entering a tenant's home unannounced. But unfortunately for Christian, Maryland isn't one of them. And his landlord is not about to walk away.
Why are you in my house?
This is my house. When did it become your house, Christian?
It may be the landlord's house, but as a paying tenant, Christian believes he has an expectation of privacy. The landlord has had enough and calls the police.
Calling 911, threatening me.
I recorded it, so go ahead and lie. I'm like, you know what? This cannot happen. Get the out of my house.
Christian finally opens the door and readies for battle.
What are you doing?
Don't threaten me.
Don't get your hands out of my head. Get your hands out of my face. He was like, don't you threaten me. And I'm just laughing like, what do you mean threaten? Like, were you there? I recorded everything, so I don't know what you mean by threatening.
Yeah. You're cursing me?
Yeah, I can say you. I can say you in my own house.
Yeah, and you can lock me into my basement.
There's no reason for you being in our house without permission.
Christian refutes her claims and continues to insist that she's there unannounced.
That tenant has no idea you're here. That tenant has no idea you're here. That tenant's at work. He doesn't know you're here. Nobody knows you're here.
That's not true.
You're over here doing whatever the hell you want in our house.
True. That's not true.
Hey, does anybody know that Robin's here right now?
Not true. You're not a lawyer.
Does anybody know Robin's here?
You're a lawyer.
Upstairs, Christian questions the other tenants.
Did anybody know she was going to be here? What are you doing in our house? She just called the cops on me because I locked the door to my own basement.
The second neighbor is new, having just signed his lease that morning, although he may be having second thoughts.
This is starting to be a hostile environment for me, and I just got here. That's a lease break. I didn't sign up for this. I didn't sign up.
I didn't sign up for this. No one signed up for this. Who in their right mind would sign up for a house just to be harassed by the landlord and then pay for the next month to have it happen again?
As tenants' tempers boil, the landlord simmers down.
Don't do that right here, because I'm going to start getting back.
The landlord retreats, and the battle seems won. But the night is far from over for Christian.
The recording stops, and the cops actually come 30 seconds later. So they arrested me right there for false imprisonment, threatening, and I went to jail that day in Baltimore City. One of the worst experiences I've ever had.
Christian is released within 24 hours and is eventually cleared of criminal charges, thanks in part to his footage.
What are you doing in our house?
Don't threaten me.
Don't
lock
hands
me
out
in
of
the
my head.
basement.
Get your hands out of my face.
And yet, after all he's been through, Christian still lives at the same house, with the same landlord, but with a new plan.
As of right now, I refuse to pay rent. I'm gonna stay here until the sheriffs come, because she's not gonna use this space to make money. So I'm gonna stay my ass here until the very last minute. She's not gonna get rid of me that fast.
Looks like this neighborhood war is far from over.
I didn't sign up for this. I didn't sign up.
I didn't sign up for this.